Hi everyone, welcome to Miranda's Cauldron. I'm sure most of you are probably over with Angie's sprints. I did not know she was hosting today. It was a pop-up because Kay, who normally sprints earlier in the morning, couldn't make it for whatever reason, so Ange filled in. So that's okay because I've got things to do. I'm going to first draw my cat wisdom card. But first, I have a question for you. How did your weekend go? I had a very different double down day. If you're familiar with double down day over at Heart Breathing's running community, I normally attend almost every sprint after 10 p.m. Eastern because, well, out on the central Canada, 5 a.m. is too early for me to have been there with JD. But anyhow, I spent most of the day with hubby driving around and doing stuff, visiting and all that fun stuff. And by the time we got home, I was too tired, so I took a very long nap. And I popped in and out during a few sprints, but did some reading. I didn't do any writing. So today I'm going to make up for that because after my 2-hour sprint, well, not quite 2 hours because you need a break before JD sprints at 2 Eastern. And her link is right here. Even though good chance that everybody who pops into my sprints probably already know about JD's sprints, you may not know that HK Darkwood, who I use her sprints, she also sprints, or I use her timers. And she normally sprints Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So today I'm started the day off with Angela. And now I'm going to be doing some planning. And then for JD sprints, I will probably be finishing up my planning. Hopefully I have it all done, but if not, I'll finish that up. And if I do get it all done, I may go into Canva because I have a 100 sub celebration coming up. I'm hopefully being able to finish the thumbnail today and do all the social media stuff on Instagram and over on my Facebook. And hopefully you can help me celebrate 101 plus subscribers. So I'm going to shuffle up my cat wisdom cards. Cut it. And we're going to use the alarm. Oh, really? I tend to get the alarm a lot, especially on my live streams. So let's just shuffle and draw another one because, well, we can do that. Okay, and it is trust. Okay, the alarm and trust, which I'm pretty sure I drew the trust the last time I had live stream. So I'm not going to draw another one because it's probably going to be a repeat. So I guess we need a reminder of trust and the alarm. Let's double check what the alarm means. If something has set off alarm bells for you recently, be sure to follow your instincts. You need to proceed with care. If it doesn't feel right for you, trust your intuition and be prepared to change your plans. Interesting how alarm and trust is similar. Let's see what the kitties have to say about trust. Of course, this is practically the last one. If you're feeling torn about which direction to take, it is time to make a decision. Both paths will be challenging and rewarding, so choose one and trust that whichever one you choose will be the right one for you. It's time to move forward. Well, that can be in so many different ways for me. Moving forward. Yes, we all need to move forward. Okay, I am going to start the timer. First, I'm going to do the present, share my screen. Oh, I don't even have one set up. It's all just general. So how about we do this cute little witch's cauldron from Laura Nettles. I'm going to bring it up to 20. So the first sprint will be just 20 minutes. That's close enough. See you in almost 21 minutes. Oh, and I have to go back and share my screen. Here we go. See you in 20 minutes. And that was the end of our first short sprint of 20 minutes. And I'm going to just start with the next. Okay, I'm just going to leave that alone for now. It's one of HK's newer sprint timers, and it's going backwards. So when you look up, it's on its way to 45 minutes for the timer, but I'm going to make it go only for 30 minutes because 45 minutes for me are a little bit too long for my liking. Okay, so I'm just going to let that go as we chat. So we had Pageant pop in. Hello. Writing new words today is great. Oh, I can't wait till November so I can do the rough draft challenge with the Hardys for November. And I'm going to go back to my novel that I'm still rough drafting and revising at the same time because that's how I do things. I usually write a chapter and then I revise it and change it and tweak it, and then I move to the next one. And I haven't even, the last time I wrote new words for that was last November, even though this past year I've taken some time and typed up what I hand wrote in November. And it was very weird because I don't think I did that until it was July. No, July I did revisions. So I'm not sure when it was. It might have been June. But anyhow, it was very weird reading what I wrote months before that and typing it up. And when I was typing up a few scenes, I'm like, what was I trying to say here? Okay, I'm just going to scrap that and do this new stuff. So Mondays, normally during this time, I do my tracking summary and my task blocks from the week before. I go from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. But that's not all writing because one of the reasons why I decided to take the HB90 planning method was so I could track my time of what I was actually doing. Because some days I was watching way too much TV, too much writing. I know the horror of too much writing, but I wasn't getting, my house chores done other than the basic cleaning and cooking, like dishes, laundry when needed, that kind of stuff. So I decided in the 12-hour time period, I will keep track of how much writing and tasks I actually get done, how much of my outside time and home stuff, and try to keep a balance. So it's been interesting, as well as I've been following the revised writer Tracy for her weekly planning sessions. My life got in the way for her, so she's no longer doing the weekly. So I decided, well, I'm just going to find a time Monday that I can do it online, because then I have to do it because when I stream like this, I can't use the internet, my laptop, for anything because it's really, really slow. That's probably why so many people who do stream use their laptop or their desktop and have a tablet and all that stuff, but I don't. So how did you do, Pageant? Are you still around? It's been 3 minutes of our break. For the first, I did first I drew the cat wisdom cards and I got the alarm, which I've already gotten a few times during my live streams. And I believe it was just one day last week I got trust, and I got trust again. So maybe they're both trying to tell us something particularly me, that I need to trust my instinct and don't be alarmed so much, which is kind of hard when you worry about a little bit of everything. Okay, so if Pageant doesn't want to say anything, doesn't want to share her progress, I am just going to get right back into the next set of stream. Oh, and if you're into stream hopping, I usually can't, even if I wasn't streaming, because quite often the streams pause. But for some reason, I can do music through YouTube, and it's not a problem. Very, very weird. Okay, so I am going to bring this forward to, let's see, here. That will be about 30 minutes. So see you in 30 minutes. And that was the end of that sprint. Let's see what's going to be coming up next on for the timer. We're just going to flip it over to this one. And it seems like it's going to go the same way. So I'm just going to leave it for now while we do catch up and our little chat break to see who's... Oh, we have comments. Let's see. Okay, we have... Okay, hello. I thought I'll drop in and say hi. Boop the like button and do a little reading. Oh, reading is so much fun. I quite often do my reading sprints in the after supper for me during Tracy Jody Jean Daniels sprints. Because after supper, I just don't feel like going back up to my desk. So I've been doing a lot of reading, which is good because I have, been reading this Tarraga guidebook, Chainfire. It seems like for months. Sure, I'm also reading some on my Kobo, so I'm reading other books too. So I can read all day long. No, Angela's sprint must be over. Jessica, hi. Popping in from Angela's sprints. Hello, hello. The timer that I'm using is from HK Darkwood. She just posted up a bunch of new ones, but I didn't realize it until I started it that it's one of those timers that go backwards. This timer is actually set up for 45 minutes. I'm going to, when we're done with the 5-minute break, I'm going to move it so it's actually 30 minutes of a sprint. So that's the end. That was my little spiel on the timers. Oh, and HK Darkwood, if you don't sprint with her, she sprints over on her channel on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 4:30 Eastern. I try not to miss her sprints, at least most of it, because for me it's 2:30 to 5:30, and so I can usually get for the first hour because I look after 4 siblings before and after school most of the days, unless her dad doesn't have to go to work because he's outside all day. So if it gets too cold over the winter months, I don't get them. And I mean, okay, this is in Celsius. Like right now, it's 15 degrees Celsius here, which I believe is about 60 Fahrenheit because I think, okay, room temperature is about 21 degrees, which I believe is about 72 degrees. But when it gets too cold here up in Saskatchewan, it's like, I'm not kidding you, this is in Celsius. With the wind, it can go down to minus 40, and that's Celsius. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's probably really cold because when it's that cold and the wind is swirling around, I don't go outside for anything because a lot of time with the wind, it's also snow. The snow is also blowing. And quite often, I can't see outside, so I don't go outside. But anyhow, enough about the weather in central Canada and Saskatchewan. Okay, we have 15 degrees is 59 Fahrenheit. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I had to, when I went out and fed the cats this morning, I had to put my sweater on. It was a little chilly. But at least it's not terribly windy. So how did everybody do during that sprint? And did you get everything you wanted to get done over at Angela's sprints? I was very surprised and very happy that she was hosting this morning. So I managed to get almost 2 hours in with Angela. First, of course, the first sprint, I was still kind of waking up and doing the morning stuff like breakfast, coffee, just sitting there in front of the TV doing nothing for a little while. So the fun stuff. And since I've been doing my own streams, I've been working on my tracking summary and my review from last week, and I'm setting up my planner HB method / bullet journal now. So trying to figure out what I have to do this week. Once you get below freezing, I don't think it changes. I could be wrong. I think 40 minus 40 is just minus 40. Okay, that's what I remember hearing something about that, because I know years ago that I'm talking like 15 or 20 years ago, when they had those Microsoft groups that I was involved with, and just like Facebook, most of there's a combination of from all over the world. But anyhow, when I would say over the winter, oh, it's minus 20, and people are like, whoa, that's cold. Or I would do like minus 5, and that was cold. It's like, well, not really. But then because of the conversion from Fahrenheit to Celsius, it does make a difference. She was filling in for me. I'm not feeling all that great this week. Oh, being sick is not fun at all. I was wondering if you were going to sprint this morning, since she had to cancel yesterday. So if you're not familiar with Heart Breathing's writing community, Kay sprints, I believe, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, early mornings, at least early for me, since I'm out in mountain time right now. So I'm 2 hours behind Eastern. But after the time changes, Saskatchewan does not change their time. So I'll be able to catch more of the morning sprints, because I would love to be able to start sprinting like I used to about 8 a.m. my time, which is 10 Eastern. Sorry, no, that'll be 9 Eastern once the time changes. But I ramble, and we've been rambling for 6 minutes. So I am going to change this timer. Oh, and before we start, back on our sprint, don't forget, if you've been writing the whole 3 hours with Ange, you might want to get up, get a drink, get a snack, maybe a little stretch. And like I said earlier, this timer is kind of going back. Yeah, I like going to your sprints, but like I said, sure, I'm awake at 6:20 because the little children show up at my house at 6:30, but that is way too early for me to be mobile. So since Happy's still home, I get to kind of doze and for the next hour and a half, because sometimes I've got to be up for a little bit with them, but they know that if they need me, they can just pop in and say, hey, I need help. So in the meantime, I am going to move this timer so it's actually less time. I think I moved it up to 20, which will bring it to 30 minutes. Nope. Bring it up to this far. That's close. And then I think it's about 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And then after that, we'll do like a regular timer. See you when the timer chirps. Not chirps, when it just makes it sting. And that was the end of our third sprint together. We had a few people pop in during that sprint. Sarah. Hi, everyone. I'm on vacation, but wanted to say hi and hug the like button. Have a great day. Sarah sprints just like me, not with the heart breathings, just on her own. I believe Sundays right after Mel's. And one of those early mornings. Sometimes she sprints Mondays, has a pop-up before me. So that's always fun when there's more people to sprint with. And Jenna popped in and remind you to tap the like button. And oh my goodness, I'm at 111 subscribers now. 111. Good morning. Speaking of, keep an eye on my YouTube channel for upcoming stream. Probably, I'm thinking next week. And a big celebration because of I hit 100. And I'm going to have some guests. So keep an eye on that. As well as the end of the month, I would be officially with my YouTube channel, Miranda's Cauldron, for a year. So I'm going to do something special for that as well. It might be just a normal stream, running stream. I will have to see. And we've got Angela popped in. She did a pop-up this morning because Kay couldn't do her normal sprint. So I was able to put a couple hours in with Angela before I went on my own. Wednesday mornings. That's what I was thinking. It was Wednesday mornings and Sundays. About, I don't know, noonish or something right after Mel. And we do love celebrations. Yes, we do. And I never even thought I would have 50 subscribers. Heck, I was happy when I got a dozen, to be honest. But 112, wow. We have Jessica that popped in. Well, I don't need to remind anybody in this group because I'm pretty sure they're all Hardies that Jen will be sprinting, JD Robinson will be sprinting in about a half an hour. So this sprint, I'm going to have to bring it down some. One of the things, couple of things that I like to do during my writing streams is I've used these cat wisdom cards. And yes, for the dog lovers, they also have dog wisdom cards. I may have to look into that because I have dogs too. Oh, she sprints at 4. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Then I won't have to worry about bringing it down. For some reason, I thought it was just after me. Maybe it was because it used to be at this time. Well, that's good to know that I have enough time for a decent lunch break. And up in Canada, we're having up in Canada. Yeah, okay. In Canada, we have our Thanksgiving this weekend. And my daughter and her boyfriend will be coming home from Alberta. They will be at her brother's on Friday evening, probably around 10 or 11 at night. And then we'll be all together for Saturday. And we get together over at Brennan's in-laws. So funny. Our other family for on Sunday. So that's fun. So maybe I'll be able to do some cleaning before they get here. Yesterday, I've vacuumed everything. And today, I'm thinking it might be bathroom time. No one wants to scrub the bathtub. Why is a bathtub so difficult? Like, it's just porcelain, but it's a pain. So she used to be at 2, now she's at 4. Perfect. Okay, that is perfect. Okay, and have fun. Okay, so for the cat wisdom cards, I pulled Alarm, which I quite often get, and Trust, which is what we got last time. I was going to draw a third card, but I'm like, no, not going to happen. And I'm also going to draw the Animal Spirit cards. Since there's so many of us, why not? And I don't have to bring it down to a short sprint. So I'm going to shuffle the cards. There's so many. perfect for my little hands. Oh, okay. Not little, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm shuffling the cards, and I'm going to split it about the middle and get a spider. I guess that's very fitting being for Halloween, and spiders are a big thing for Halloween, apparently. I really don't care for spiders. But let's see what the little spider card book says. And I wish this was in alphabetical order, but it's not. So I have to flip through and find the spider. Okay, the spider. And these cards are divided into the different elements. And of course, the spider is for Earth. Let me just double check. Yes, it's for Earth. Okay, so it says creator of prosperity through life's work. When in balance, appreciative, enthusiasm, prosperous. When out of balance, discouraged, tired, forlorn. To bring into balance, playful creativity. Well, I guess it's telling us to just continue being creative, which I believe all of us here are creative in one way or another. Heck, everyone is creative. So I'm going to bring this timer back to its full 25 minutes, and I'll see you in 25.
Okay, so it's good.
And that was the end of our would have been last sprint together. I'm going to replay that timer again for another 25 minutes because I'm not quite done the plan with me that I do with Tracy's. At least I used to do, but I'm still doing it, just not with Tracy because she's doing other things. Here I am just rambling away. Okay, so Angela, so I asked another sprint, 30 minutes, or do we need a break? Angela says, I'm going to eat lunch either way. And here with you or on my own, whatever you decide. Okay. And Pageant needs to go eat. Well, I'm going to just continue after this 5-minute break or thereabouts and continue because, like I said, I'm not quite done. If you are familiar with Tracy, the Revised Writer's Planning Method, I am right now working through the 168 hours that we have in a week, which is quite the eye-opener. Some people can survive, I don't know how they do it though, for like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I need at least 8 hours. But a lot of the times I get probably 10 hours sleep mainly because I tend to wake up a lot through the night. So it's like, okay, all the time that I'm awake and trying to fall back to sleep, I probably lose an hour or two of sleep just with doing that. So Jessica could use another sprint. That is perfect because I am going to do another 25-minute sprint. I'm going to repeat that time where I just did. And just in case you are not going to be sticking around, I'll see you in 2 hours over on JD Robinson's channel. I did share her link to her channel here, but I'm pretty sure everyone here's already has her in your channel subscribers. And at 4:30, HK Darkwood will be also sprinting. So I'm going to be going back and forth probably for the first little while. Angela says, I wish I could sleep that long. I usually end up getting up because my back hurts. Yeah. Isn't getting old fun? Fun. So that's probably why, for me, when I have to wake up at about 20 after 6, because the kids arrive about 6:30, I'm get them their drink because they tend to bring their own breakfast, which is nice. But it's always that 20 minutes of talking and what have you. And then we switch to kid-friendly program. And I just go back to sleep for about an hour, a little over an hour. And then the bus comes, which is really nice. I don't have to worry about getting them to school. And the bus usually gets here about 8:15. So that's good. And then at the end of the day, I can be asleep anywhere between 10. Okay, sometimes, to be honest, I'm falling asleep during but if Jenna goes late, I quite often fall asleep before her sprint is over while I'm reading. Yeah, so I've always been able to get lots of sleep, and quite often, I know not as much now. My sleep in on the weekends when my kids were little, it would be a contest to see who would wake up first between myself and my daughter. She usually beats me. Like, she quite often would sleep in till about 11 or 12. So my longest sleep in was usually 12 hours, so like 10 or so. But my son, he never really did sleep in. His sleep in on weekends in the summer might have been 8:30. But here I did. We rambled on for almost 5 minutes. I'm going to find the timer again, and we'll just leave that on the 25-minute timer, and we'll see you in 25 minutes. Happy sprinting! And that's the end of our sprint. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. There we go. And I'm going to stop the timers. Okay. Well, I got all my stuff done. My plan with me that I've been doing with Tracy, the revised writer. This 168 hours. Oh my goodness. I had to redo it a few times because I typically try to put in 4 hours for the week of extra chores, like mopping the floor. Yeah, right. Sweeping the floor, taking care of the animals, doing the dishes, all that daily stuff. But then since I'm having company for a few days, I'm like, hey, I should probably do a little bit more cleaning. So I put that under my chores. And then I'm like, well, wait, that's one of my goals for this quarter is deep dive, declutter, that kind of stuff, the house. So I changed that into my goals for this week. So I lost 4 hours there, even though I moved it over into my chores or into my goals. And then I was thinking, okay, how many hours is going to be since my daughter's coming home? Well, I had 30 because she's going to be here for 3 full days and part on Tuesday. So I put down that for 30 hours. And then I'm like filling out the rest of the template. I'm like, whoa, wait. 2 of those days are next week. So I got to go back and change my hours again. So I may have more hours than I think this week for my writing and to go through and write up some of my notebook. And I was going to start with Preptober, but that could be next week because there's going to be 3 days. I only have the kids next week for 3 days, which is really good. Okay, and Angela says, I'm not good at regular chores, let alone extra ones. Yes, I can so relate to that. Like, for example, when I started HB90, my first quarter was in January. And one of my goals, and I was so gung-ho, I was going to declutter the house in 3 days. Well, I mean, in 3 months, 3 days, yeah, it's going to take me 3 years. So I felt really, really bad because, well, I didn't do any decluttering. I did manage to clean up my writing space, which was progress. And I did go through my t-shirts and my dresser. So I guess in a way, and I did end up getting 2 bags of clothes to be donated. So that was good. So yeah, cleaning house. I don't know how our mothers and grandmothers do it. Like I know my grandmother, she raised 7 kids and she was a farmer's wife. So she was up to get grandpa breakfast every single morning at the crack of dawn. And her house was actually not, well, at least when we came along, the grandchildren, her house was always nice. It was tidy. It wasn't like super clean or anything, but it was lived in. I don't know how she did it raising her own kids with farm. I just don't know. I tried to do decluttering last quarter. That lasted about 3 weeks. Well, at least she managed to get into for 3 weeks. So I decided once I did up my goals for this quarter, I'm only going to put in 2 hours for the whole month per room. Or was it? No, maybe it was. No, it wasn't hours. It was 2 or 3 task blocks. So yeah, we'll just see how that goes. The goal is for tonight is, those plastic tubs with the drawers with the wheels on it. Well, we don't have enough kitchen drawers, so I'm using those for like the plasticware, Tupperware, and the stuff that we don't use every day. Well, that's my goal for today, is to take all the stuff out of those drawers. Just what I actually need, what I actually use. And since my daughter's coming home, I think I may just send some of that Tupperware back home with her because I don't use it. Angela says, I found a website years ago that gives you specific things to do every week. I never get far. Oh, is that Fly Lady? I've heard a lot of good things about her. I went to her website and I have to be in the mood to clean. Like, I really should be able to mop, should be able to sweep the floor every day. But especially with the dog running in and out and one adult cat. Well, now there's two, because somehow Little Fate, who I saved from hurting herself under the bed, she hurt her leg. At first I thought it was just her paw, but no, it's your shoulder too, because it kind of just hangs there. So she spends extra time in the house, because if you're injured, even if you're a kitty, do you really want to go lie down in the hard ground or in the hay? They've got a little hay hut. No, let's bring her in the house so she can get comfy on the couch or on the bed. No, although I do like Fly Lady, I could just never get past cleaning my kitchen. The extent of my kitchen is the dishes. I do wipe down the stove every time I do dishes, which is usually every other day. But when there's only two of us, normally, it's like you don't need to do dishes every day unless you need to wash a pot. This website is 52 weeks to organize a house. Oh, I think I've seen that. I think so. Like, you do so much every week. I have this my own theory that when company's coming, I spend one day in one room. Of course, that one day could be an hour. It could be two. Spread out through the whole day, though. Yeah. It's a different area every week. Yeah, that makes sense. Fun. Okay, so I am done for these sprints for now. We have an hour and 20 minutes before JD returns. So I hope to see you back over at JD's channel. Before COVID, we would invite people over to get us to clean. That's a good one. The only people that normally comes, like, I have practically no one that just pops in. Except there's one guy, one friend of my husband's, who does pop in time to time. But I understand his house is a typical bachelor house. He doesn't really even do dishes. He uses the same coffee cup, every single day. And then he might wash it. Usually don't. Thanks for hosting. You're welcome. And sorry I overlapped you. I forgot. That is totally fine. Totally fine. I was glad I was able to spend a couple hours over at Angela's channel. And the reason why I even popped into YouTube, because I'm like, okay, it's 8 o'clock. I don't want to watch TV this morning. I want to be productive. I want to get some writing in or some revisions in before I do my own sprint. So I popped in to see if Kay was sprinting, because sometimes I can catch the last hour of her sprints, and then I'm like, oh, Angela's sprinting. Then I looked at it. Oh, she only started 15 minutes ago. That is perfect. But yeah. So, and after this evening at 8 Eastern, Jody Jean Daniels is sprinting for Heart Breathings. I will see you all at Jen's. Bye for now. Oh, and don't forget, I'll be here tomorrow at 4 Eastern for 90 minutes to fill in when Rachel D. Adams can't sprint. And then I'll be back on Thursday. Bye for now.